Hello, dear viewers. I am glad to welcome you to a new issue of an interview with a student. And today we have a student of international relations as our guest.
Hello everyone, my name is Masha. I am 18 years old. I am from Ukraine, from the city of Cherkasy.
Masha, could you please tell me why you chose the Czech Republic to move?
Initially, I planned to study in Ukraine, in the capital, in Kiev, but due to my safety, my family and I decided that I would move abroad after all. Initially, they selected a country that would be the closest in proximity to Ukraine as their first choice. I didn't want to go too far. Here, we thought about Poland, but then we finally settled on the Czech Republic because the Czech Republic is a very beautiful country. My dream was to study in Prague because Prague is one of the most beautiful cities in Europe.
You can't argue.
Yes, present. And in accordance with that, when we made this decision, we promptly initiated the process of searching. And naturally, GoStudy is an extremely well-liked language school. Even in my city, Cherkasy, I have numerous acquaintances who have studied at GoStudy, and they have shared information with me regarding it.
You came based on reviews, right?
Yes, according to reviews, and also, of course, if you enter education in Czech Republic in Google, GoStudy courses immediately appear, so yes. Well, we decided without hesitation that I would study there. Also, of course, I listened to the feedback from my acquaintances there.
What did they say? Never been such a thing. These are new rumors.
Yes, I had a classmate who was studying at that university during that period of time. He happened to be in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, so he had, it turns out, online learning, then initially in person, then transitioned to online. He mentioned that it was quite interesting. A big advantage is that there are a lot of activities. There are, for example, regular games, some clubs in Czech. So students are somewhat enticed and drawn towards different activities and experiences of this kind, like the one mentioned. I adore it immensely. This is my subject matter. That is the reason you are aware.
So, well, tell me then, what happened with your activities? Did the expectations come true?
Affirmative, my expectations were indeed met. There were multiple games available. Let's suppose there is a game called Mafia and so on. Now, I definitely can't remember the name.
Have you played this in Czech?
We participated in Czech Republic. We participated, for the most part, it was in Czech Republic, but the students communicated with each other in Russian, Ukrainian, as they desired and saw fit. Then, of course, there were travels. Personally, I haven't been anywhere because I didn't have the opportunity, but I am aware that my classmates have traveled and they truly enjoyed their experiences.
Tell me then, what group were you in? Have you already had any economic inclination?
Yes, I immediately became a member of a group with an economic bias, as it turns out. Here we made a decision with my parents, although I wasn't always great with math, but I made a decision to try to connect my life with something like that once again. Here, when I was contemplating the idea of moving to this place, I was examining the higher school of economics. So in order to gain admission, you must already possess some economic background or knowledge in the field of economics. So yes, I went directly to such a group. Inform me, how was it for you to acquire Czech?
Was it difficult or on the contrary easy perhaps?
At first it was difficult for me because I was learning the language from scratch. I didn't study in my hometown Cherkasy. Once I made an attempt at that place using a few videos and online lessons, but unfortunately it did not end very successfully for me. I learned from scratch. I was lucky with my teacher. I had a teacher named Andrei Bublikov. Here, she initially gave us such a good foundation. When I was fitting in, it was very unusual for me, but then after probably 2 months, I already blended in. I was already feeling quite at ease, and that's when it all began to unfold and take a different turn, changing the course of events.
Please inform me about the process of nostrification. How was it for you?
I went through internal recognition for HSE because I was informed that it is not necessary to undergo regular recognition for an economic university like mine. The internal recognition process was considered sufficient to validate my academic qualifications in economics and related subjects at my university. And I seized this opportunity. I contemplated, why not? Why not give the internal one a try? It seemed like a perfect chance to explore.
What does internal nostrification include? How is it different from the usual one?
Internal nostrification is when you have to collect documents and then submit them to the university, and there you wait for the university's response, whether they approve your nostrification or not. Regular nostrification refers to the process of taking exams to validate the knowledge acquired in one's own country and city, ensuring that the qualifications earned are recognized and accepted in the new country of residence or education. Here, to take examinations, employ interpreters, and so forth. I truly did not want to perform this task.
Yeah, it sounds bad.
Here, since I had the chance, I utilized it to evade it, taking into account the fact that I had the opportunity to do so.
Good. At first, when you arrived, you knew that you would pursue an economic specialization. Did you know that it would be global relations?
No, I was unaware. I was contemplating multiple faculties, multiple universities in general, without having prior knowledge about them. Originally, I wanted to go to the Faculty of Physics and Chemistry. In HSE, this is the Faculty of Podniakovo-Gospodarsk. This is something like business and so on. Subsequently, I developed a strong interest in the Faculty of International Relations, and it became my primary focus. I also considered the PF faculty at CHU.
Is this also some kind of economic?
This is an economic circumstance, yes. Moreover, in VSHHT, there is a faculty that is dedicated to the study of economics. I also desired to apply at that place. I submitted my application. Were there any entrance examinations? It was necessary to pass Czech, mathematics, and English in order to meet the requirements. I was admitted based on my scores obtained on the certificate that I submitted.
Which entrance exam was the most difficult?
The most challenging aspect for me was probably the examination on impurity that I had to take. Within the share, they provide individuals with the opportunity to engage in cheating. These are examinations that take place during the month of April. Here's how it works. Furthermore, there is a second session that takes place during the summer months. For children who are more prepared, there is an opportunity to take the test in the springtime. I made an attempt to assess my physical strength. It turned out to be a rather demanding and thrilling endeavor for me. But she passed, it turns out. Did you pass in the spring? Yes, I passed in the spring, and it turns out I kind of half followed them. I still needed to pass Czech.
What kind of test was it? Mathematics, English?
It was a math test, English and Russian language. Due to the fact that Russian is not an official language in Ukraine, I had the opportunity to take it as my foreign language subject. Yes, these tests are small in size, but they are also quite complex.
How challenging was Czech? What admission requirements did they demand for entry?
As far as I understand, the Czech language required a B2 level of proficiency, but it was not tested according to levels. Instead, candidates were given a piece of text and had to read it and provide an answer. There was no specific examination for each level. The evaluation was solely based on the comprehension of the given passage and the ability to provide an appropriate response. And that is how they were in general. This was such the test that they had to endure.
I understood. Well, you did it. What were your expectations from international relations? What did you think you would learn at that place?
The name of my department is International Trade. To clarify, what I initially anticipated was that our main area of focus would be studying and academic pursuits. What kind of items can you sell? Yes. What can be sold? How can one work, for example, between different countries? How can goods be transported? How can one cooperate in some way, and so on and so forth? At present, we have an item of this nature. In the university setting, it is commonly known as the geography of the world economy. In that place, they provide us with knowledge about countries, different worlds, and other related topics. And as an example, we conducted a comprehensive study on their gross domestic product, population, the country's production capabilities, the advantages they have in production, and other related factors and aspects. Based on principle, my initial expectations aligned with the actual outcome, so my anticipations were correct as I had anticipated.
Tell me how your first week went, because I'll explain to the viewers, Masha has just started her education in September, so it's still exciting.
Yes, my initial week was quite challenging. because naturally during the summer I have forgotten a little bit of the Czech language, which made it more difficult for me. During my time in Ukraine, I lacked exposure to a Czech environment, which was a disappointment for me. So it was quite challenging for me. Another aspect to consider is that the Czech language used in the university setting is slightly different from the one that is taught in language courses, which added to the complexity of my learning experience. However, as time has passed, I have already started to feel that I have become accustomed to it. I now have a better understanding and feel more oriented. The first week was tough, but it's gradually getting easier for me.
And perhaps you already possess certain items, favorites, where you genuinely enjoy going?
Yes, I really like the English language. Actually, why did I choose international relations? Because I primarily like languages. I have a greater inclination towards the learning of languages.
Okay, then a question right away. Why didn't you pick a linguistic direction?
Linguistic because, as I comprehend it, a linguistic direction can be either a teacher or a translator, something along those lines or in a similar vein. I am not very interested in this. I would still like to work in another place. Where is the money located?
Yes, we must be completely honest.
In some other economic structure, maybe. That's why the idea of being a teacher or translator doesn't sound very appealing to me. I find it more satisfying to pursue a profession that is engaging and fulfilling.
Can you tell me about the structure of the training? What does the first year, second, third represent? How will this continue overall?
During the first year, the curriculum covers a more general range of subjects. However, in the subsequent years, particularly the second and third, the focus shifts to more specialized topics within my specific field of study, which is international trade.
Are there many Russian students in your major?
No, not at all. My expectations were much higher. I have approximately 80 to 90%, give or take a few percentage points. These are Czechs. Since I haven't had much experience communicating with Czech teenagers before, it's a bit difficult for me in this regard.
Teenagers are 2021.
Well, yes. So the average age of students in the university, specifically in my faculty, in this location there are students who speak Russian. Naturally, I interact with them because it is more convenient and simpler for me to establish a mutual understanding with them. However, I have also encountered a few individuals from the Czech Republic, making an effort to communicate with them in some way or another. By the way, their response time is quick and they are prompt in providing assistance, so I have not had any negative experiences with them thus far. Their responsiveness and helpfulness have been consistently impressive. Well, that is considered good.
Maybe you can tell me how you spend your time outside of studying? Where are you going? Some favorite places?
In general, I absolutely love walking around Prague because Prague is incredibly beautiful. It is without a doubt my favorite city in the world.
I agree, absolutely.
Primarily at this moment I walk, make plans, for instance. I intend to go to the library with my friends, for example, to the NTK library located nearby.
Are you intending to go to the library together with friends? Well, you know. Cool. Please tell me where you live. In a dormitory or in an apartment?
I live in a dormitory. It's called Tesla. I have been living there for 2 years, it turns out.
Is it in the center of somewhere?
This is in the center. This is right in the center of Novoslavsk na Vneste, overlooking the museum.
Oops. Kindly inform me, what is the cost of a dormitory, please?
I make a payment of 11,000 crowns every month. I reside in a double room, sharing it with a female roommate. And our dorm is divided into mini blocks. In each block, there can be a varying number of people, ranging from 4 to 8. In my block, a maximum of 4 girls can live. I feel very comfortable and convenient. In principle, I only have a good impression of my dormitory.
Great, and we have a very good impression. I have a very good impression. And you? I hope that the viewers found this interview useful too. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to leave A in the comments, give this video a like, and don't miss out on the upcoming episodes. Farewell to each and every one of you.